Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to Old School Knicks. I sent Anthony D the link late, so he'll be on the way here in a second. Just a little bit behind. I don't know why. I'm a little bit behind with everything today. I guess because of the 718 boys show and all of that. So my man Anthony D is on the way, and we're gonna talk that talk. Of course, y'all know we're gonna do that though. So my Bears are all over the Jaguars right now. I hope whatever team that you root for gets a victory today. Andrew College is in the building. Salute. Salute. College, hey, listen, man. Anthony D and I are gonna start doing boxing stuff on playback TV. We're gonna like break down in-ring movement, trainers, managers, promoters, all these different things about boxes. People that love martial arts and things of that sort. Like boxing and all that stuff. So we're gonna break that stuff down. With that said, my main man Anthony D is backstage, and so now all I have to do is cue the. Yeah, look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. It's about that time. It's about that time of the week where you get ready for your work week with a man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser. Your main man, the real Anthony D, and your main man, Jersey's finest, the hood representative, Uncle Freezy. Yo, Anthony D, the man that is so smooth. The bartender doesn't even have chasers back there. Just,
I was having a chaser last night. You better believe that. Better believe that. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, man. Good morning.
Salute.
Good morning.
Salute.
All of a sudden, Benny want to bark. Hold on.
Salute.
Oh, go ahead, bro. I'm gonna step away for a second.
Salute to the chat. Good morning, Nick Nation. Who we got? Cardiac, Andrew, On Diaz, King Ribby. Salute, Nick Nation, as we do it again. As we let's do it again. Salute to the great elder, now ancestor, John Amos.
Yeah, man.
I was watching Let's Do It Again this week, and again, the man there's nothing but quotables in that movie, yo.
Just quotables, bro.
Said nothing but quotables. He was like, Biggie, you got to bring ass to get ass. Done. That's before the BIM.
Yeah, BIM.
Done.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Salute to all our Johnnies in the building. I see St. John's in here.
Absolutely.
St. John's trying to take over. Okay, St. John's. All right.
Redmond, baby. Redmond forever.
Hey, Pastor Jay in the building. Salute to the Johnnies. Salute to the Rams.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yo, so a lot of things are on my mind, but I ain't gonna lie to you.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot
going on. There's a lot going on. So where are we going?
So here's the thing. Here's the thing that I noticed about the Bears fan base. Not the Bears. I'm sorry. I have Bears on the mind, but the Knicks fan. Orange is orange, bro. Blanche is blanche, bro. Love is love.
Love is love, baby. Love is love.
So one of the things I noticed in the Knicks fan base is that I think we're nervous. right?
Mm.
Yeah, we're nervous. I think we're, but the thing is, I think we're nervous not because of the opponents that we're about to face. I think we're nervous about being in the front, the leaders of the pack. I think the Knicks are nervous about being the leaders of the pack. I don't know if that's a necessary nerve because you've been at the tail end of the pack for so long. Why would you be nervous being in the front?
When we say nervous, are we talking about Nick fans,
Knicks
fan base,
fan base, yeah,
the fan base? Um, to your point or to the argument that we're rolling with right now, I don't know if it's a nervous thing per se. You know, it's just that we've been the butt of jokes for so long. You know, for so long, and I can't remember a year and a half period where management really kind of looked at the team and really just said, you know what, we need to do this, 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 and this.
right.
And it feels like it was like it's one a week
Yeah,
because we barely got to digest OG.
right,
You know, boom, Bridges.
right,
We barely get You know what I'm saying? The Bridges meal is still at the table. It's not even fully cooked.
right,
And
right,
then you know what I'm saying? Then the entree comes out. Bam, cat.
right.
You know, so we're still just. I don't think we're nervous. We're still just digesting what looks like the good fortune and the good sense of a management team.
Right.
And this is the same management team that took bullets. A lot from me.
A lot.
A lot from me. See, I'm always keeping a buck because, you know, everything is on tape. A lot from me. But over this last year and a half, you know, so I don't think it's a nervous thing per se. I think we're kind of like in that just kind of, you know, we know what we're expecting, you know, or I don't want to speak for the entire fan base. I know what I'm expecting. You know, I'm expecting to be in the finals. It's finals. It's fun. I'm not going to say the B word because with this team, I'm expecting to consistently keep knocking at the door until we finally win it. So I'm not nervous.
I'm expecting a black 2X NBA champs T-shirt and ski goggles. Right. I'm expecting. I'm expecting a $100 cigar. Right, like a cheap cigar. Right, just $100 because you know with champagne everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You ain't trying to. You don't know if it's gonna get wet. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I'm expecting a black New York Knicks 2025 NBA champs hat so that I can wear for the rest of my life. That's my expectation. That's my expectation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
My expectation is that we'll play a team in the finals, right? Play a team in the finals and and it'll be a team that knows that they're gonna get swept, but they scrap their way to a gentleman's sweep, right? I expect, say, whoever sees us in the finals, knowing that we're gonna overpower them, and they're only there not to get embarrassed, right? Maybe they'll win Game 3 on their floor, and then we'll celebrate in their building, right? I expect the airport to have 1 million people there waiting for the Knicks plane to land.
Yeah. At the very least.
Yeah, you feel me?
At the very least.
You feel me? My expectation is that Jalen Brunson or Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be the Finals MVP. Right? Pick one. You could say if you say Jalen Brunson, I'm fine with that. Right? If you say but if you say Cat, I'm fine with that. My expectation is that the front office, if they recognize that there is a missing piece, right? Maybe things aren't firing on all cylinders. I expect them to do a tune-up. Right now, the overhaul, not go buy a brand new car, just a tune-up. Right? Like, say for instance, if the backup point guard situation is not ideal, I can see them trading for a backup point guard that will make it ideal.
You know what?
And that's just an example. I'm not saying that
Right.
the backup point guard spot is not. I'm just use that as an example.
I'm glad you went there though, because it could be an issue, but I'm glad you went there because I wanted to ask you what was your thoughts on the kid,
On the what?
on Kolek.
Whatever.
The reason why I'm asking because I was watching some of his highlights again earlier today, before the show started, and it made me think of was it a lot easier for them to move on from Dante because of what they're thinking can happen with this young man, a part of that second team core? Because I'm not going to lie to you, that young man can run the pick and roll.
Is
You know,
that
he
the
can.
hype train out here?
The who?
The hype train.
No, I'm looking at it from the thought process of kind of like how they thought McBride was gonna eventually be in that role, but just on a more accelerated pace, because they didn't go out and make a significant move to that area. They actually drafted somebody,
Right.
put him in the position, added a little garnishments and some couple of veterans, but it seems like he is that focal point, from that attack. So I'm saying, did it make it easier for them to move on from Dante, thinking, well, he's now a part of the situation and he's going to offer, a little bit more than what we was getting from Dante, especially from the playmaking side of it.
Okay.
I was watching him, I'm like, look, this dude can floor manage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he can shoot.
Yeah. Yo, we got to get Jay Boogie at the Garden on Christmas, everybody. Yo, everybody, listen, whatever you do on social media, make sure the Knicks know that Jay Boogie should be performing
Absolutely.
on the Garden.
Are we getting an anthem this year, Boogie?
Yeah, Jay. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. The Knicks should already have this done already. Knicks people, if y'all watching this, y'all know we should. Man, Jay Boogie, and I promise you, when Jay Boogie perform, I'll have my best outfit on. Word up. Jay Boogie be out there on the fly. I have my best outfit on.
You gonna put on some Gators?
No.
We're not gonna superfly it. We could have a whole Christmas superfly theme.
I won't put Tim's on, but I will wear some Jordan 11s though.
Well, hey, sometimes you have to be clean. Sometimes you have to be clean. Shout out to my peoples last night that all of a sudden we had to be super clean. We was New Year's Eve last night, freezing. I promise you. We was absolutely. I'm like, yo, dude, you sure that's what we doing? Yes, that's what we doing. Okay. So
I'm not even gonna hold you, man. I like getting it. So I got three thoughts open at once. I got the Tyler Kolek thought open. I got the Jay Boogie thought open, and being clean open at once. So I'm gonna close the door on a couple.
Okay.
Man, y'all make sure y'all support Jay Boogie, man. Make sure you support Jay Boogie. That's our guy, right? He on our Mount Rushmore, right? Even though even though Jay Bo- even though Jay Boogie won't tell you he's the GOAT. That's how a lot of us feel about Jay Boogie, right? So the being clean thing, yeah, of course. Of course I'm gonna be cool. That's what I am. I can't help it. The Tyler Kolek thing, the Tyler Kolek thing is this. The Tyler Kolek thing is this. I think his diversified skill set or his skill set is so different from what we normally see. I think we value it very much, right? I think we value it very much, but here's the thing about that skill set. It's only gonna be as effective and efficient as it potentially can be if he gets on the floor, right? Him having it and not being able to use it means nothing, right? So what that mean? What would put us in a situation where we don't see Tyler Kolek? A Deuce McBride breakout year. A Deuce McBride breakout year in his fourth season, which it's likely, but a Deuce McBride breakout would stall out. Oh, what a play! These Bears is for real, bro. Jets fans, if you need a team, Jets
No, we
fans, if you
no,
need
we
a team,
don't.
bro.
No, we don't. We
Jets
good.
fans,
We good
if
where we
you need a
are.
quarterback.
We
Yeah,
good
Jets
where
fans, if
we
if
good
you,
where
if
we
you need
are.
a quarterback, right? If you need a quarterback that's not gonna backstab the coach, here we are.
Wow. Is that what he did?
Yeah.
Is that what a four-time MVP, Super Bowl winning person, legend in this game, is that what he has to do to a man whose record was 20-36 in
Bro,
4 years?
he's 40, bro.
Is that what he has to do?
He
He could
won.
have got on that. He could have got on national TV and fired Salah himself.
Nah, bro.
Okay, we're not crying over Salah. Peace be with you. All of that. We're not crying over Salah.
Yeah,
So
I
feel good for the Bears.
oh, I ain't got. I feel good about Caleb.
Feel good for the Bears. He may be the one USC quarterback that becomes anything.
Oh, that's yeah. Okay.
And the Jets had two of them, so I can say that.
What two y'all had?
Darnold and Sanchez. The Sanchez. At least the Sanchez did something. Darnold was, people want to revisit the Darnold thing and put it on the Jets. And if the Jets only had patience, that was 3 teams ago, right? Carolina, San Fran, now Minnesota.
The Jets are messing this thing up, bro.
With
It's,
two,
it's, it's 1969 all over again, and the Jets
as it should be. As it should be. It is
1969
1969 all over again.
69 Jets, 69 Mets, 69 Knicks. Right? Well, they actually won it 69-70, but y'all know
Right.
y'all know what I'm saying. So,
We're
but
right
yeah,
there.
we're the Jets. The Knicks are gonna win a title. The Mets are gonna win a title, and then the Jets are just messing things up.
Yeah, because the Yankees are the one that's going to win the title in baseball. Yeah.
You know that John Carlos Stanton has to steal bases for y'all to win, right?
It's fine. However we get it done. I don't care. I don't care how they get it done. Get it done.
Get it done.
Get it done, Judge. Get a hit. Get a hit, Judge. Be impactful now. Stop looking like Danny Tartable in the playoffs.
Bro, he does remind me of Danny Tartable, bro.
He looks like Danny Tartable in the playoffs. It's like you for whatever people will think about, but look at his numbers and whatever. That's fine. you've heard me on these airwaves, talk about you have to get to the playoffs.
Right.
And the success and the excellence that you show throughout the season. Great. But look at Reggie Jackson and all of his stops, regular season, and then when he got to the playoffs, it's the reason why he's called Mr. October.
Because he's a candy bar?
Because they had to make a candy bar for him because of all of his success.
Okay.
There's levels to this.
Right.
So I'm a Yankee fan. Me and him was talking the other day, and he was like, "Oh, if Judge keeps on, he's better than Bonds." I'm like, "What?
Who?
You gotta relax."
Yeah, they gotta relax, bro.
Gotta relax.
No.
Gotta relax. And Judges on my team love him to death and all, but it's time.
At this age, Bonds are at the same age. Bonds already had 5 MVPs.
But,
what are we talking about?
Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're talking about a guy that a team would rather walk in a run
Then let him see a pitch.
Then let him see a pitch.
Not a strike. It ain't even don't have to even be. They don't even want him to see a.
They didn't want him to see the pitch. That's how devastating Bonds was at one point in his career.
Yeah.
Like, he gets one pitch a game, and guess what? It's gonna be in
wet.
Yeah. You're gonna have to soak that out. Yeah. Because he's knocking it out the park. I don't care what you want to say with Bonds. I don't give a damn.
A man delayed his proposal because a Bonds ball landed in the water. He was on his knee. The ball landed. He dove in the water after the Bonds ball.
Yes. That dude was devastated.
No, come on, that man got his girl crying. He on his knee and he hit bloop. He dove. Bonds is that dude. But anyway, this is one of salute to Ismael Rivas, man. Salute to Rivas in the building. I'm gonna say this to your point, to the point about how the Jets suck. They just suck. But the Knicks, though, right? The Knicks have one of those units. AD, I said it on the 718 boys. The Knicks have one of those units that can be one of the devastating units in Knicks history that gets a nickname, right? Like, and you know how, was it the Malibu 5? Was it the Malibu 5? Is that them or the Death Squad? The Death Lineup, whatever the name was.
Mm-hmm.
The team that came out in the third quarter, and they would average like a plus minus of like 14 points. Like, if they were up by 10 at halftime, when the fourth quarter started, they'd be up by 24. Right? If you had the lead, it didn't matter. Nicknames like Showtime. When you hear Showtime, bro, you already know who we talking about.
Yeah.
I think the Knicks starting 5 has the potential. Now, it won't get there overnight. Right? It won't get there overnight. But constantly, when you look at how a defense is going to have to defend Jalen Brunson, I'm not saying Jalen Brunson is the MVP, right? I'm not saying Jalen Brunson is the MVP. He'll probably be more like a Kobe type player.
He could well be.
Yeah, like he'll be top 5, top 6 caliber guy for the next 5 years or so, just because you add Mikal Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns.
Yes, he could well be.
Yeah,
they have a lot of talent. Like, it's so just right now, and it's not on paper anymore because we've seen a little bit of it in preseason. I'm watching OG just literally snuffing guys out, taking the ball, Bridges. That switch, fight over the pick, those problems that the Knicks used to have years gone by, that's over. That's over. It don't even matter if Brunson is late on his man. It don't even matter. Once you pass it to that other dude, where one of those guys are gonna be over there, guess what? Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Problem solved. We've never had that.
One of the things that I think is a non-talking point is how the fact when Cat sets a screen, Jalen Brunson takes it. When Mitchell Robinson set the screen, he was like, "Yo, go, go, go!" Mitchell stomp his foot and then run back to the rim. Right? Just the fact that a team has to respect the pick and roll now. Right? Jalen Brunson rejected the pick and roll. Right when Mitch came out there because Mitch was never a threat to do anything except dunk at the rim.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
No disrespect to Mitch, he's a different type player. Is he a better defender than Cat? Yes. Right? Is that enough to offset all the stuff that Cat brings to the game? No. Karl-Anthony Towns is a better rebounder than this dude, than Mitch.
Yes.
Right? He's a better offensive player than Mitch.
Yes.
Better floor spacer than Mitch. All of those things, right? Now, no disrespect to Mitch, because Mitch is a great player, a good player in a different way. Right? But in terms of impact, bro, nah,
and,
man.
And when he comes back, it's it's get down or lay down.
Jacksonville had to have 13 dudes on the field to get a sack against the Bears, bro. They had there celebrating, man. Y'all got 13 dudes out there, bro.
Bears.
Right.
That's what you're gonna have to do if you're Mitch. You're gonna have to buy in. When you get back in January, the new year, God willing, you're gonna have to buy into what's going on. If he doesn't buy in, it's one of those, okay, who the Knicks are trading him to.
Right.
The only reason why I believe why he still is because he's hurt.
Basically.
Because they was worried. If they weren't worried about the position freezy, they wouldn't have made the move.
Right.
They were obviously worried about. They obviously thought the center position, offensively, just from the offensive standpoint, was way more important than an offensive four. Than an offensive four that we can't say he didn't have any success with Jalen because he became he had another second All-NBA with Jalen, but in their mind's eye, they thought that this would be a better fit, period.
Right. AD, I'm going to kick somebody's back end, but not for the sake of being mean.
That's fine.
Kick somebody's back end.
Sometimes we got to do that sometimes. Sometimes we got to clear the air.
I'm going to kick somebody's back end just for the sake of the alluding to or the allusion to the center position. In my opinion, when Isaiah Hartenstein scored 0 points in Game 7 in an elimination on his own floor, I think they went straight to the phone. They were like, "Get Minnesota on the phone." Right? When you saw think about the Knicks road to that Game 7. They played against Joel Embiid and Miles Turner.
Yes.
Right? And when our version of that same position scored 0 points in a Game 7, then I think it's one of those deals where, like, as soon as that game ended, they were like, check to make sure Jalen Brunson's all right. Get Minnesota on the phone. We cannot go forward with 0 offense from the center position. Because the thing is, the reason why a lot of people like Hartenstein over Mitchell Robinson is because of the fact that Isaiah Hartenstein offered some offense from the center position, right? But when in the biggest game of the season and Isaiah Hartenstein couldn't offer you 0 offense, you would be better. Why are you going to carry Hartenstein and Mitch? It makes no sense, right? If Hartenstein was supposed to be the offensive center, right, and Mitch is the defensive center, and the offensive center offers you zero offense in the most important game of the season. Why is he here? Now, with that said, Hartenstein played through a lot of injuries, and Hartenstein is a good dude, right? He developed here. If it wasn't for New York, he would not have gotten this big payday. And I'm not saying that he stole a check. What I'm saying is he came here, he listened, he put the work in, he developed, and that led to him getting his bag, right? But in a game 7, with the season on the line, and that man gets you 0 points, and the game before that, in a pivotal game 6 on your floor, he got you 4 points. What's the point? What's the point of having him here? Get Minnesota on the phone. Get Cat. And not only did they know they had to improve it, think about this. Not only did they get Cat, right? They also got James Najee, a 7-foot center prospect in the Cat deal, and they also drafted Huck Porty, right? They also drafted Huck Porty. So they also brought Precious Achiuwa back on $6 million, right? And so if you're Jericho Sims, if you're Mitchell Robinson, it's one of those deals where it's now or never. Like and I like, y'all know, I like Jericho Sims. I like Mitch, right? I like Jericho Sims as a player more than I like Mitchell Robinson as a player, right? I like Mitchell Robinson as a person more than I like Jericho Sims as a person. No disrespect to Jericho, just don't talk. You don't say that. I think
he'll confuse the shit out of me.
I think he's mute, bro. I think that man, you know.
I like him, but I don't really like you. I kind of like you, but for these reasons.
Personally, I love Mitch. Y'all know that. Personally, I love Mitch. Mitch is a personal heartstring of mine. Y'all know that. I ain't got to try to fool nobody, shoot nobody in the gas. Right? On the court, I wish he would develop more stuff. Y'all know that's my frustration. But no human being is perfect. Right? No human being is perfect, right? But the fact that the Knicks brought in 3 centers lets us know that they were dissatisfied with the production of the center position last year. Because if you're not dissatisfied, you don't overhaul it. They overhauled the center position. Facts. So if you're a current center if you're a holdover from that position that maybe didn't live up to expectation, I think the writing is on the wall.
Facts. I mean, I can't argue with anything that you stated. I liked Hartenstein. I really didn't want to see him go. But to your point, he had some very good moments in the playoffs. The big rebound against Philly, for one, but in order to get better, to go to the next level, you got to look at some guys and think, well, you know what? He's not good enough in that role. And you're not going to pay him $20+ million to come off the bench.
Right.
I never really was looking at it from your vantage point before. For as much as he gave us and we liked and he marshaled through, Embiid still averaged 35 on one leg.
35 and 12.
One leg.
Yeah.
On one leg. And when he took your man out, you didn't take him out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the things, and I don't want to veer, but we got here. Robinson is standing there, Embiid is on the floor, takes Robinson was already teetering on that leg.
Yeah. Takes
Robinson out. No Knick takes him out.
Right.
In order to get to that place, there's a certain toughness that we really have to have. And that's not dirty basketball, but that's your starting center.
bro. It's like AD. It's like shooting an intruder. You don't have to be a killer, but you got to protect your house, bro.
We gotta protect your house.
Right? You don't have to be. I'm not. Listen, I'm not advocating for violence or whatever, but you got to protect yourself.
Gotta protect your house.
Yeah, that's all. That's all we say with the thing. And the other thing I want to mention too, right? The other thing I want to mention too is you saw Joel Embiid on one leg, right? In the playoffs. Remember, he could barely get up and down the floor. Imagine if we had a healthy Karl-Anthony Towns in that matchup where Embiid on one leg had to guard him, bro.
He's killing Embiid.
Bro,
He's killing Embiid. He's gonna confuse him.
yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying.
Killing him. He's gonna make him have to really work on both sides. It's killing him. When
See, now the Bears just showing off, bro. Now the Bears just showing off out here, bro. AD, now we just showing. I got to turn this thing off, bro. Now we out here just showing off. We just throwing touchdowns now that we feel like it.
Feels good. I feel good for you, Freezy. You've been, Bears have sucked for a very long time, so I feel good for you.
For a very long time. I'm in a weird space with the Bears and the Knicks right now, bro.
You should be happy.
I'm in a weird space, bro. The year
happy.
we won the Super Bowl was the same year we got Pat Ewing, bro.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
You're doing the Super Bowl shuffle, but back to this Cat thing. If we had Cat at that point, we sweep them quite easy. We sweep them,
bro. I'm telling you, bro.
because that was a matchup. Even now, going into it now, Philly's never had to deal with us from an offensive standpoint. He's never had to look at our centers and go like, you know what? I'm gonna work tonight.
Right.
I can eat an extra couple of double cheeseburgers.
Drink some
before
Shirley
the game.
Temples.
Yeah. I may have to worry about them on the glass, but offensively, I could slump off. I could, lay in the lane and all of that. That's over. When Cat is above the 3-point line, guess what? You're going to have to be there too.
Right.
Because who are you switching off on? Everybody you're going to switch off on is going to be playing 5 out a lot of times. So you're going to have to work.
Right. Right.
So the advantage of having Cat here and now, going forward, it's going to be a lot of teams are going to be like, wow, we did not see this coming from the Knicks.
Oh no!
Jesus, the Bears again. Nick fans, no! I apologize.
No, I just read the RJ Barrett thing, bro.
With what? There's been so much little scuttlebutts over the last week or so, this, that, or third, and I didn't even see the RJ Barrett. So enlighten me and the fan base here.
RJ Barrett is accused of soliciting a male ex-worker on Twitter, $17,000. No, Ribby, you gotta explain this to me.
I don't know how I don't know what this.
I don't know what to say. I don't know it.
I'm not even gonna touch that. I'm not even gonna touch that. I'm really not.
I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true.
I'm really not. I'm not.
Right? I don't think it's true. It just caught me off guard, bro.
There's way too much salaciousness on the internet. I'm not even gonna.
And everybody, y'all know this is not a news channel. Like, I don't break news here, right? That's not what I do. That's not the intent of the channel. It's a fans channel where we come chop it up and talk about. But bro, this right here caught me off. When I say caught me off guard, if it was like a Zion thing, I'd have been like, still would have caught me off guard. But bro, oh my goodness, man. Good luck in Toronto, though.
Good luck in Toronto. I mean, once a Knick, always a Knick.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it there with,
See, now the Bears just
with
showing.
that.
Now the Bears just showing off. Now we got a nut. We made them fumble again, bro. Get this
I
team.
thought that's what it was. I thought that's what you were reacting to. A
Any team that
Bears
wears green
moment.
and white must be trash, bro. If
Um,
you wear
um,
green and white, you must be trash. Is that what this is? If you wear green, white, and black, you just must be trash.
Green and white and black, baby. It's about the money. Green and white.
If
It's
you wear green,
about the
white, and
colors of the money.
black,
Well, Jackson's colors. That's not green. That's like
green,
baby blue or something. That's not green. And they got sprinkles of gold or something like that, or whatever. But back to our beloved Knicks here.
yeah, let's talk about these Knicks.
You know, like we were saying, it's going to be a whole different situation. I looked at a pass that Brunson hit Cat with in one, and I think it was the first preseason game, the one that you guys went to, right? That you went to, and he had Cat on the first time, but the defender had to drop off so much because it's his Brunson's coming and he doesn't know what to do, and Brunson made another dribble and fake like he was going to, and he wrapped around, hit Cat again. Two opportunities on one play to hit the same guy.
Yeah.
So it's like defenders are going to be on their heels a lot every game.
Every game.
Every
You got
game.
to make these decisions split second because any second you don't make a decision, you give it more opportunity to the offense, AD.
Yes. Yes, and they've got guys who are not, Cat is not a volume guy. Like Cat doesn't need 25 shots. They don't have anybody outside of Brunson who up until this point who's gotten his shots. Now you have a situation where it's going to be some really beautiful basketball.
Yeah.
A lot of passing.
Yeah, a lot
of hit the open man. It's going to be some really, especially when they catch a steal, throw it up to the guy up front. It's going to be a lot of that. Yeah. This is going to be some beautiful, beautiful basketball to watch that we haven't seen since the 70s.
Bro. Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Listen, I love Willis Reed, right? I think he's the second best center, and I'm talking about while in his prime, to ever play for the Knicks, right? And listen, Bob McAdoo was a superior offensive player than Willis Reed. Right?
Yes,
you know that's not any. And we had other offensive centers better than Willis Reed, but in terms of complete player, offense, defense, rebounding, passing, Willis is probably the second best player all time, right? For the Knicks, right? Oh, now the Bears are just now we just showing off, bro. I mean, come on, man, get this game off TV, man. Hey, get this game off TV, bro.
It's not on my screen. It's on yours.
so when I guess the point that I was trying to get to before the Bears made another awesome offensive play is the Knicks have made great trades that worked out in the past for championships. Earl Monroe is not a drafted Knick, right? Did they throw another touchdown? Did Caleb Williams threw 5 touchdowns? Caleb Williams just threw for 5 touchdowns, bro. Anyway.
Game over.
Yeah. Oh, it's been over for a while, bro. But I guess the point that I'm getting at is the Knicks have never had a starting 5, right, of individual parts, right, not together as a team, because the championship teams played superior team basketball, bro. It's the most beautiful thing you ever want to see, right? But this team has 5 guys. This is probably the most talented 5 guys that the Knicks have ever put on the floor at the same time. Remember, Willis Reed was a second-round pick. He was brought in to be the backup power forward, and he worked his way up the depth chart, right? He was, he's the backup power forward. They moved him to center. He played center for, Andy, how many years he played center? About 6 years, 5 years? and then they moved him back to power forward to save the wear and tear on his body.
He played at
He
least
played like
center,
5.
at least
Started
6 or
at center
7.
like maybe 68.
Because he's not center when they bring him in. He's not center. They have another center. His name is skipping me right now. That they traded. They ended up making that trade to Detroit and getting DeBusschere.
The Busher, yeah.
Because he wasn't. Although his size is power forward, he wasn't a 4. He was a 5.
He was a 5. Yeah.
He was a 5.
Yeah. And so I guess the point that I'm getting at is that team in the 70s was really talented, right? But that team didn't have the number 1 overall pick on it, right? Like imagine if you're the they didn't give him a touchdown. They didn't give him that. They got him down at the 1 inch line, bro. NFL reps. Give that man. They got him down at the 1. But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm ultimately what I'm going to say is see now the Bears just running it up, bro. You should get the field goal, man.
Jeremy Nussbaum says, "Now the Knicks know the offense was clunky with RJ. It was, it was, because RJ wasn't a pure. What they needed was a better shooter,
right?
And that wasn't his his thing, and he was left hand dominant.
Right.
RJ wasn't a bust here.
He wasn't a bust.
No, he's far from it. Far from it. Was a young man that when he came here, wanted to be here. That's another thing. He wanted to be here. He didn't work out for any other teams. His family has, the background and stuff is from here and so forth. And with the Caribbean, the Jamaican background and so forth, he just wasn't the top 2.
Right.
And that could be good, that could be bad, because the top 2, look at their careers to date.
Yeah. Right. That turns out to be a very weird draft.
Yeah, very weird, because he's not the top 2, and at least he was here playing and getting better.
He probably played more games than both of those dudes combined, bro.
Or close to it.
Somewhere.
Close to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Averaging what? His first season, he averaged 14. Then it was 17 and 20 and 20 again.
On terrible teams too, bro.
On terrible teams. Made the playoffs, helped the Knicks get back to the playoffs. So, we won't remember the good from that, because I remember when we missed out on him that night, on Zion that night.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like the air was just completely let out of the balloon.
Right.
And it was just
AD, let me ask this. Would you trade for Zion today?
No. Don't need it anymore.
If you could get Zion at the 4, would you do it?
That means I'd have to move OG.
No, you have to move OG to the 3. You can't trade OG because he just signed.
That's what I'm saying. I either have to move OG or Bridges. One of the two would have to be going.
Would they really?
Yeah.
He only makes $37 million.
I'm happy. No, that ship has sailed.
Okay.
I think that ship has really sailed. As talented as he is, and I get your point, but it's too. No, I need more of last year from Zion. If I was a team looking to make a major move, extremely talented, but it's buyer beware.
The rumor is right now, at this moment, Zion Williamson is 6'7", 255 pounds.
That's where he needs to be.
Yeah.
That's where he needs to be. If he could do what he did, 40 pounds heavier, right? Imagine what he could do if he could sustain that. He's walking without effort, 26-7-7.
Yeah. Yeah.
The way he scores the ball is like nobody scores the ball like him because he doesn't have a jump shot.
Nope.
He doesn't have no three.
No.
It's just like when
Not
he
a
gets
great
the
free throw shooter.
no, but when he gets the ball in that mid area there, he's hard to deal with.
The only person pound for pound that I can think about to compare him to is Barkley, bro.
Yes.
And the thing about Barkley is people forget about Charles Barkley's straight line speed, bro. Early Barkley straight line speed, bro. It was like a freight train, bro.
Yes.
I saw that man dunk on Bill Cartwright 7 times in a row, bro. Same play. Chuck D put a song around, made a song around. Yo, the best as a youngster, the best thing that I ever had as a youngster, right behind the rim, and I saw it with my own eye. And I was so mad about because AD, I don't know if I ever told you this, bro. But when I was young, I was a Bill Cartwright fan.
Oh, God. No, the world knows, Freezy. At this time, you were suffering from whatever childhood trauma that made you latch on to Bill fucking Cartwright. Oh my God. Man, Lord have mercy.
I saw Barkley dunk on a man like 50 straight times off the same play, bro. And the Knicks couldn't stop it, bro.
No, the funniest thing was with Chicago, Cartwright was more of a physical presence than he ever was with the Knicks.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about shot blocking. I'm just talking about his gangly, vicious elbows, wide ass hips. Those things were not attribute with the Knicks.
He was the first player I saw with a gray beard. Remember the salt and pepper goatee? That man was like 24 years old with a salt and pepper goatee.
Yeah, he was just oddly his free throw, which I can't even knock it because I liked because he was accurate, but it was he kind of leaned over 1, 2.
Yeah. Oh my God! And brought that ball around his shoulder. How you bring the ball around your shoulder to? Oh my God! It was awful looking.
Yeah, but it was accurate. Yeah. But like I said, he wasn't that guy that he was for Chicago. And I'm not saying he was but the physicalness that he brought to Chicago, especially against Ewing, he was never that guy like that for us.
Right.
So you latching on your childhood affections to that man, it's beyond odd. It's it is what it is.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the guy. I can't remember the name of the center that the Knicks traded for in 76. Let me see, 76 Knicks roster. I see his face. I can't remember his name. You know the guy. He tried to play with he played power forward next to Bob McAdoo, and then they traded McAdoo.
What, Spencer Hayward?
Spencer Hayward. Why do I always forget Spencer Hayward's name, bro?
Because he wasn't here that long.
I keep forgetting that dude's name, bro, for some reason.
It was like the transition point. It was like I remember it as a kid. The Knicks got Spencer Hayward. They got Bob McAdoo's kind of like when the Knicks had Amari and they got Carmelo.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing. Within like a year, they chopped that up.
Yep.
If that long.
I don't think it was that long, bro.
Management was totally going to whatever the hell they were going through at that time, which it seems like we've always been doing that up until now.
Yeah, I think when you get in that championship mindset, you don't really pay attention to developing the back end of your roster as much. And so with that said, seeing how the Knicks are doing it, developing the back end of the roster, having the middle of the roster developed and primed and ready to go, and the starters being an elite starting unit, I think this is the best job I've ever seen from a New York organization. Right?
You can't do two things at once. right? And even the most successful NBA teams we've seen, Boston and LA, went through periods of, rebuilding,
Right.
because at some point your stars are going to get old. But if your mindset is a championship, you keep trying to rebuild, come again, come again. And then at some point, you're going to have to pay for that.
At some point.
The Celtics did that for what, 10, 12 years before they finally got Pierce.
The 90s, yeah.
Yeah, the entire 90s. Basically for the Lakers, the same thing.
Yeah, and theirs was unfortunate too because it wasn't as if they didn't make the right move, right? They made the right move. Like Len Bias should have been carrying them in the 90s. Reggie Lewis should have been carrying them in the 90s.
Yes.
Right. The unfortunate thing to not Dino Raja, but what's the other Euro big they got? Not Potapinko. It was another. They had another Euro big.
I know what you're talking about.
That had the upper body injuries all the time, man. The big strong dude.
I can't remember his name.
He defended Shaq well. Like he was big enough. He was about 6'10" or so, and he defended Shaq well. Like he was strong in the post and he had quick feet, but he just couldn't. Like he just had. So they were trying, and I understand your point, and I'm not trying to dance around your point because I agree with you, right? But there was it happens, bro. But
and then when they blew it all up and brought in Pitino, it got even worse.
It got even worse because Rick Pitino didn't. If you were a veteran and you wanted to walk the ball up the floor, Rick Pitino was getting rid of you. You remember that? Rick Pitino was like, "Yo, we need to run."
It got worse. He sulked, and this is a part of his legacy. Because he didn't get Tim Duncan in that draft, he sulked and started doing weird shit.
Right.
Signing Travis Knight.
Yeah.
Back up from the Lakers to like some crazy deal at the time.
Yeah.
Chauncey Billups doesn't become Chauncey until well after he leaves Boston.
Because Chauncey is a half-court facilitator, and he wanted them to run, and Chauncey wouldn't run, right? And you notice, and if you notice in Chauncey's career, whenever you just let him dissect the defense in the half court, those teams won.
Yeah.
Right?
He's gonna kill you there. But they were destroyed. Then look at the Lakers. The Lakers had Jerry West at the time still at the helm, and they went through a bad time. This is with Jerry West at the helm.
Yep.
For until they draft Kobe, the Kobe Shaq situation in between Magic leaving, that 5-6 year stretch, they were horrible.
Now they had talent, man.
They had talent.
They drafted Eldon Campbell. They drafted Nick Van Exel. They drafted Eddie Jones. They drafted they traded for Sedell 3. They had talent. They had what's my guy from the center from Cincinnati? They had he played center with Nick Van Exel.
Oh, jeez.
I forget his name.
I know you're talking about, but his name is skipping me right now.
So they had talent. They were just young, and they had the naked gun out there coaching them. And the naked gun was used to coaching veterans. And
Dell got them to a certain point, because once they got Shaq, they did start winning again, games as far as regular season games, but they weren't that championship level until they got rid of Dell. Until they got rid of Naked Gun 2.0.
2.0, right?
Because he couldn't get along. They didn't respect him. Because I've heard Nick Van Exel talk about his tenure there with Dell, and Dell would tell him something to do, and he would go out there and do something totally
different, and the whole team would be on a different page.
Yeah, and we as fans don't notice. We're like, "Ooh, that was a great play."
Yeah, that's a great play.
That was a great. Did you see Nick with the left hand? Oh man, that man was phenomenal, yo. Oh my God,
Darren Williams did it to Jerry Sloan. Young.
That's why they moved it. That's why all of a sudden, after Melo gets dealt, he gets dealt like the next week.
Yep. And the Jazz, yeah,
Couldn't work anymore.
the one thing I'll say about the Utah Jazz, you'll never see the Utah Jazz without talent. Now, will they be able to win with the talent that they have? It's not always a clear picture, right? It's not always a clear picture, right? But you can't say that they never have talent, right? Over all the years, even when Stockton and Malone retired, that short little stretch where it was Shannon Anderson and Howard Osley before they left as free agents. Even then, you could see the
Well,
young
they didn't
guys.
leave as free agents. We traded for them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, that was Leighton's, gift to the Knicks, getting Anderson and Isley. Yeah.
Yeah. But even then, though, they still had a relatively reasonable talented.
Yeah, but they could never get outside of Malone and Duran. Okay, they never got that mega player to come there.
Right.
To like, if Stockton and Malone could have gotten a Carmelo-ish of that time to go there, they'd have been way more formidable.
Right.
Against the Bulls at that time.
Okay.
That made it because I was recently watching that game 6 the last time they played Chicago. They're up, what, 5, I think? Right? They're up 5, but because their attack at the end was so predictable, which is either pick and roll or dump down, and they kept doing it, and Jordan read it them last couple times. If you see, he comes around and he swipes the ball from Karl Malone and takes.
You remember? That play was AD. That play was a play called pick and fade. Remember that? When Malone would set the screen and then he would fade toward the baseline for like this 12, 14 footer. And so he faded out to that point, caught it. The shot wasn't there, and he was looking for the cutter in the post, and Jordan comes behind him and steal the ball.
Yeah. Their offensive attack, that last 50 seconds or within the last minute and a half was so predictable.
Of every game, bro.
It was very predictable. So they relied, great combination. Great big small combination. We don't give Karl Malone the love that a man who has over 30,000 points deserves.
Right.
Okay? That man could do anything. Right. Face up, run,
right,
post,
bully,
everything. And he was dirty. Like, that was a physical dude.
And he was not a shot blocker, but boy, could he get steals, though.
Yeah.
And he brought the ball down below his shoulders. Karl Malone was going to steal it.
And once it was time for a break, as big as he was, gone.
Freight train.
But they could never get that next piece in between them, right, that would make them a lot less, predictable in the half court. Because that's where they lost it to Chicago. That's where they would keep losing it to Chicago. When it breaks down into the half court, they weren't going to beat Chicago.
Right.
If they had ran into anybody else from the East, even us, they probably beat us because their execution was pretty good and he was very efficient.
And plus, we didn't have power forward that can guard mobile.
No.
Our power forwards couldn't guard mobile fours. So our
not at that time. No,
not at that time. Especially after 94, when you're talking about 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, when the Antonio McDyces were coming into the league, where guys could just jump out of the Marcus Camby's were coming into the league, guys that could just jump out of the gym, that could run like a deer. Yeah. So, yeah, Oakley's and them wasn't going to guard. And no disrespect to Oakley and them, man. It's just, They were a certain type. They were 80s power forwards playing against the Y2K power forwards, basically.
Yeah, I mean, but a lot to the problem or the point that I just mentioned a while ago. A lot of teams in those eras kind of had that same kind of thing where they needed another consistent piece to buffer between their stars that could challenge Chicago.
Right.
See, you got Jordan, Pippen, and Grant, the first half.
Right.
The next tier, you now have Kukoc, Rodman, and you got Harper in your backcourt.
Right.
See, to go with what you already have.
You already have, yeah.
You're not beating that.
No,
you're not beating that.
You're not.
Not if you're not going out and matching up with it with the best that you have to counteract that.
And for those that don't remember, for those that just think about greatness, there were 3 players in the NBA that you couldn't touch at that time that AD is talking about. That's Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Karl Malone. And even Karl Malone at that time couldn't offset the whistle. Because you couldn't even now you could mug John Stockton, right? Teams tend to do that. Like with Stockton, just play him physically, right? And Stockton was tough.
But I was just about to say he was a physical ball player as well.
He was tough, right? But
and a little dirty.
Yeah. He would back screen you, bro.
Keep it a buck and a little dirty.
Yeah. But he was a Jerry Sloan carbon copy, except we all know Stockton was better. But Jerry Sloan was definitely that archetype, right? That TJ McConnell with offense type guy, right? People forget about it. That's why Jerry Sloan knew offense in and out, because he did that at a high level. It's just he didn't have the counting stats that John Stockton had, right? But to my point, though, to the point that I'm getting at is the evolution of the game was moving at warp speed, especially when you remember AD. You remember when an NBA player took 6 3-pointers in a game and it was on the news. It was on Sports Center. Reggie Miller took 6 whole 3-pointers in a game, right? Leading the way, leading Sports Center, right? And so, but the evolution of the game, dudes now take 6 3-pointers in a half. They don't even get dudes take 6 3-pointers in a quarter.
In a quarter,
they don't even care, right? Because of the evolution of the game. The game is basically, in a sense now, and this is speaking to the thing about Cat and the talent that we have on offense. The game now is at such a point where what Karl-Anthony Towns is capable of, we can't even fathom, because we don't know what the limits are to the offense. If a defense legit has to guard Jalen Brunson after he gets a screen, how else can you guard the rest of the floor? Because you're gonna have to send 3 at 2, and then guard 3 with 2 on the back side of that. It's impossible. It's impossible for you to say, you know what? I'm just gonna guard 2 with 2, and then let Jalen Brunson rub that man off and let Jalen Brunson go off for 50. How many NBA coaches have the appetite for that?
Not a lot.
They just don't. They just don't have the appetite for that. They just can't sit back because if you take away Cat, right? If you take away Cat, right? If you say, you know what? Don't go over the screen. Everybody stay under the screen, right? Now you have Karl-Anthony Towns screening 2 people for Jalen Brunson to shoot 3s. And then so now if you say go over the screen and the big go around the screen to try to trap Jalen Brunson, are you really going to let Karl-Anthony Towns run unmolested to the rim without a defender, thinking that Jalen Brunson can't throw the ball up high enough for that man to catch it and go down the lane and finish?
No.
right?
You're
So
not.
it puts teams in this weird space, and we're gonna see things that we've never seen before, right? So that's where I am.
Absolutely. But let's leave it there, Freezy, because
Yeah,
I
I got
gotta get prepared and so forth. But people, Nick Nation in the chat, salute to you. Once again, we don't know where this journey started, but we know where it ended with you. Have a great and happy Sunday. Look for me and Freezy in the whirlwind. Garvey.
Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there.